What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jacelyn and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I am so excited to be sharing with you guys my birthing experience with my second baby. So I did do this video 2 years ago when I had my firstborn Yanni, and that experience was totally different from this one. For that birth, my first birth, I gave birth at the hospital, and I did make a video, so I'm going to post it right there so you guys can check it out, my labor and delivery experience with my firstborn. Definitely check that out, of course, after you check this video out. But for this experience, I went a whole nother route. So you guys know that we are currently going through the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, which is spreading worldwide, and that played a big part on where I wanted to give birth. So originally I was thinking I was going to give birth at the hospital, but that changed after I did some research and I really wanted to go all natural. So I decided to give birth at the Women's Birth and Wellness Center. I'll go ahead and post some pictures up here so you guys can see how it looks, and just insert a few clips on what the birthing center is. But I'll go ahead and explain it a little bit. So the birthing center is more like a home-like environment where you give birth to your babies. It's like if you were doing a home birth. So they have beds there, they have water tubs, they have showers, they have birthing balls, peanut balls, rebozos, they have aromatherapy, they have herbal medication to help through the process. So that is really what I was looking for. So all in all, it was a very great experience, and I was able to record my experience. Compared to my first experience, I wasn't allowed to film my labor and delivery, but with the birthing center, they let me do whatever I wanted to do. So that was a big plus for me because I really wanted to record my experience and share with you guys how it went with this pregnancy compared to my first one. Throughout the video, I'm going to be inserting clips to show you guys some of the comfort measures and how my experience went when I was at the birthing center. So let me go ahead and start by comparing this birthing experience with my first. So this birthing experience went a little bit quicker than my first one, but not as fast as I thought it was going to go. So I went to my baby's 2-week checkup yesterday, which was Wednesday, and when I spoke to the midwife, she said that the total amount of hours that I was in labor was 8.5 hours, which was quicker than my first experience, which was 12 hours. Or it was like 12 to 13 hours with Yanni. So this one was 8.5 hours. So not as long, but it was still pretty long. I thought it was gonna be maybe like 5 hours, but with this experience, I started feeling contractions. I was due July 17th, and I started feeling contractions June 13th at nighttime around like 8 o'clock. So I started feeling mini cramps like 4 days in advance, but they were like minor cramps like you would feel if you're going through your menstrual period. So I didn't really pay much attention because from my first experience, I already knew that you start getting little minor cramps, and then once you start getting closer to your due date, they start progressing and they start becoming contractions and not mini cramps anymore. So on June 13th is when I started feeling cramps, and that's the day I was filming one of my hair videos. I think the last hair video that I posted, and I was filming through my little mini cramps and, you know, dancing through the little mini cramps. So it wasn't that bad. So then when it started getting later, like around 10, 11 o'clock at night, I started feeling these contractions a little bit stronger, and they started coming a little bit closer. So I already knew that I was starting to go into early labor because it was starting to get a little bit harder to breathe through them. And I would definitely have to pause and, you know, do a few comfort measures like swaying side to side or rocking front and back to make the contractions go smoother. So that's when I knew I was already going into early labor, around like 11 o'clock at night. So as the time goes by, I start counting my contractions on the little contraction timer I have on my phone, and the hours go by, and my contractions start getting closer together, and they start getting a little bit longer. So by like 3 o'clock, 3:30, I wake up my partner and I'm like, okay, so I am definitely feeling contractions. I'm timing it on my contraction timer, and it's telling me that I should go ahead and start getting my stuff ready to go to the hospital. So The birthing center is like 40 to 45 minutes away from where I live. So you guys, let me go ahead and tell you that I was like not as prepared for this birth as I was for my first one. My first one, I had my bags packed like I think 2-3 weeks in advance. You guys, I literally packed my bags that morning when when I woke up my partner and told him that we need to go. Like, my bags were not packed. So the good thing about the birthing center is that when you go there and after you give birth, you're only there for maybe 6 hours, up to 6 to 12 hours, and then you get discharged to go home. So at the hospital you usually stay like 3 days postpartum. No, at the birthing center you're there, I think the longest is like 12 hours, and then you're good to go. So I did not have to pack as heavy as I would have packed if I was going to the hospital, so that was a good thing. Now, I did have to keep in mind, just in case if complications arise, I did have to pack a few more extra things in case I got transported to the hospital, but luckily that did not happen. So we packed our bags. It literally took us like 30 minutes to pack our bags. My partner went ahead and took a shower and got himself ready. I got myself ready and got the baby's bag ready, and we were out the door in like an hour. And then it took us like 40. Mike was speeding, so it took us maybe like 30 minutes actually to get to Chapel Hill because he was going so fast. He even had his hazard lights on. So the good thing is that it was literally like 4 in the morning when we were going to the birthing center, and there was barely any cars. But once we got there, I did not want to know how far dilated I was when I got there. I did not want to know how dilated I was progressing when I was there the whole time. So I just felt like that would have made me feel anxious if I was not progressing at the speed that I wanted to progress. So I decided to tell my midwife to not let me know how far dilated I was when I got there. I did want her to let my partner know, that way he knew what was going on. But I personally did not want to know. So the only thing I wanted to know once I got there was if I was staying or not. So once we got there, we got into the room, and once we got there, we weren't allowed to leave the room because of the coronavirus. We weren't able to share the living room area if other families were there because of this virus. So we had to stay in the room the whole time we were there, which was totally fine because we pretty much had everything we needed there. And if we needed like our snacks or whatever that we had put in the fridge, the midwives or the nurses would just bring it to the room. But once we got there, the midwife checked me, and I was 6 centimeters dilated. She didn't tell me. She told my partner. I just asked her if I was staying or not, and she was like, oh yes, you're definitely staying. You're in active labor. So I was so glad because I was worried that I was gonna get there and I wasn't dilated enough and they were gonna send me home. But when we got there, we were pretty much ready to go. So when I got there, the midwife didn't really go in as much because I was still kind of early. I wasn't really going through like the end phase of the birth. So the midwives usually step in when you're pretty much like 8 to 9 centimeters dilated and you're pretty much ready to just give birth. They'll be there to deliver the baby. That's the point of the midwife. And the nurses were the ones that were coming in and out of the room more frequently, checking on you, checking on me, checking on you, checking on me, checking on the baby's heartbeat, and making sure that everything was okay. This time around, I had a doula. I did not have a doula with my first birth. My first birth, I had my mom, my partner, and my sister there the whole time through the whole labor and delivery, and they were great support systems. My boyfriend was very helpful, but I feel like my mom did a lot of the support with my first one, so he kind of stood back. And with this one, he was really hands-on, which I was really happy about, and he was happy about it too because he also wanted to be very hands-on. I got a doula because I wanted to have extra support, and I wanted to have a person that had knowledge on different comfort measures that would help me through the contractions. So originally it was just gonna be me and my partner because my mom is overseas. She's stuck out there. My sister was gonna be taking care of my first baby, so she wasn't gonna be there. And I just felt like I really wanted a doula there, especially because it is a very tiring experience and hard experience to go through if it's just you and your partner. Personally, I think that, especially if it's a early morning birth and you don't get much sleep, it'll be long. But I had a doula, and she was really great. She definitely helped with a lot of different comfort measures, and she was able to teach my partner, that way they can piggyback off each other on different comfort measures and who was going to do what and who's going to help with what. Meanwhile, I was going through this experience. So the type of birth that I wanted was a natural birth, and I also did research on hypnobirthing and educated myself on hypnobirthing. So hypnobirthing is when you are pretty much putting yourself through hypnosis and mentally preparing yourself to go through this part of life where you're going to be, you know, creating another human being and have another human being coming out of your body. So hypnobirthing, you are mentally preparing yourself to connect your mind and body to deliver this baby. And I really felt like that was a very helpful method when trying to go all natural, you know, making sure that you're connecting your mind and your body to push this baby out. I really felt like that helped me through the contractions, because I already knew what was going to happen, and I was mentally preparing myself for these contractions and mentally setting my mind up for those contractions to come. I feel like I'm repeating myself 20 million times, but that's just how I felt. So with the hypnobirthing, there's a CD that came with it that helps you with relaxation techniques to help you relax your mind when you're going through contractions or when you're going through anything pretty much painful. And there's also the birth rehearsal imagery, where it gives you different images to picture in your mind when you are delivering this baby. So I felt like that really helped. The whole time I was there, I had my relaxation music going on and my hypnobirthing relaxation techniques going on in the background to help me go through these contractions, which really did help me mentally to prepare for this birth. It's gonna be a little bit dark because the whole mood that I wanted for this birth was like a calm, quiet environment with aromatherapy, with relaxation music, with dim lights, just to bring my baby into it, like a calm environment, which was totally different from the hospital, where it's always bright and people constantly coming in and out of your room, checking on you with monitors and with drugs and all that stuff. So this was totally different. It was so quiet compared to my first pregnancy, my first birthing experience. And we did some counter pressure on my lower back to help with the pain, which felt amazing when you're going through those contractions. Like when they hit the right pressure points on your back or on the side of your hips, I'm telling you guys, it helps your contractions go by so much smoother. We did some of those techniques. You guys will be seeing it right here. And another technique that we did was the rebozo, where you lay on your forearms. I also put it right here so you guys can see. The rebozo, where you lay on your hands and knees, and you pretty much can grab like a scarf or like something to go over your belly, and your doula or your partner will go ahead and just lift it up a little bit and just kind of relieve some of that pressure so all that weight is not on your back. There's also a technique where they call it shake the bottom, where you put the scarf around your bottom and you shake it, and that also helps with the contractions. Another technique that we did was in the shower. So having the shower fall on your lower back or on your back is also a great method, because it just helps calm you down, and the steam just helps with the contractions. I don't know, it's just weird, but it just worked. So I would just be in there and I would just be like swaying back and forth, and my doula and my partner would be, you know, spraying water on my lower back or on my upper back, and also doing counter pressure at the same time. So that felt amazing. I did not record that part because we were all busy at that time, and the shower was very small, so we couldn't really set the tripod there for you guys to see. But that was also a great technique. So another technique that we did was getting in the tub, and that is also a real relaxing. But you know, I also did that in my first experience, in my first birth experience, and I didn't find it as relaxing as I did when I went to the birthing center. And I don't know if that has to do with my mindset, because with my first birth experience, I was so terrified. Like, I was very fearful of giving birth. Like, I always heard about how painful birth is, and ever since I was a little girl, I was just so scared of the actual delivery part of the baby. Like, so with my first experience, I never mentally prepared myself. I didn't really educate myself at all because I was busy with work and I was busy with school. So I really didn't have much time to educate myself on childbirth. And I feel like that really played a big part on how prepared I was for my second birth. So my second birth, I definitely did take childbirth classes, and I did the hypnobirthing. I read the hypnobirthing book and educated myself on that. And I really felt like that helped my mindset with this pregnancy. Plus, I already had experience with my first one, so I kind of knew what to expect as far as with the contractions, but I did not know what to expect as far as delivering my baby naturally. It was a lot more relaxing than it was for my first birthing experience. I think where I went wrong though was that I got into the water tub a little too early, because I originally wanted a water baby, and it did not happen that way. But you know, everything happens for a reason, and I say that my baby did not want to be born in the water, which is why I ended up giving birth on the bed. But the water tub definitely did relax me. I think it relaxed me a little bit too much to where it had me stuck at 8 centimeters for a while, and my midwife advised me to, you know, get out of the water or try different positions to help the baby come down, because she was just comfortable at 8 centimeters. So we went ahead and, you know, tried different techniques, different positions in the tub. I did get out of the tub for a while and tried, you know, putting one leg up, elevating one leg to help the baby come down, but none of that really was working. And you guys, throughout this whole time, when I got into the tub, I was 8 centimeters dilated, and I did not know that. My partner knew that, and my midwife knew that. She would not tell me how dilated I was, because she knew that that's not what I wanted. But she did give me hints on, like, okay, maybe we should try different things because you're not progressing. So that's when she advised me to try different positions in the tub, or try getting out of the tub and trying different positions to see if the baby would come down on its own. And this whole time, my water had not broke yet, so I was still waiting for that. But I think my midwife can tell by how my contractions were going at 8 centimeters and by my facial expressions that I was so ready for this baby to get here, because like the whole time I was stuck at 8 centimeters, I was just talking to my baby like, all right girl, you need to come out. Like, I need you to come into this world because your mama is tired of going through these contractions. And the midwife definitely read my vibes, so she had asked me if I wanted to get my water popped. And you know, although I wanted everything to happen naturally, I was just so ready for my water to be popped because I wanted this baby to come out already. So she tried popping my water meanwhile we were in the tub, but that wasn't successful because she couldn't really tell if it popped or not. So we decided to go ahead and move me to the bed, and that way it'll be easier for her to pop my water and actually know if it was popped. We moved onto the bed. I was still 8 centimeters dilated, and she went in there and popped my water. And I'm telling you guys, once she popped my water, it was go time. This baby was ready to come out. Like, the contractions got so much more intense. It was so much more painful. I had no idea how painful it was going to be. But you guys, it's so crazy to tell you guys that it was so painful, but then tell you that it was such a great experience. But it really was. So so once my water popped, they had me positioned on my on some pillows facing the frame of the bed, and they had me on my knees, and they were telling me to go ahead and push because baby girl's coming now. So that whole time I was trying to connect myself mentally with my baby and trying to push my baby out, while I was actually trying to breathe her out so she can come into this world. But you guys, I felt like I was pushing that baby out for like, no joke, like an hour and a half. But when I went to my appointment this past Wednesday, my midwife told me that I literally pushed for 7 minutes and my baby was out. And I was like, what? 7 minutes? I swear it felt like I was pushing for like an hour. But you know, I'm telling you, once they popped that water, everything started going so fast. And going through that process, like my midwives and the nurse did such a great job on supporting me. See, there, my doula was still there, but around this time when I was actually going to transition and I was actually, you know, delivering my baby, is when the midwife and the nurse stepped up and, you know, actually gave me so much support and telling me how powerful I am and that I'm doing such a great job and that I can do this. Because you guys, I honestly felt like I could not do it. Like I felt like I couldn't push anymore. I felt like I wanted to give up. Like in the back of my mind, I was trying to like mentally prepare myself for the baby coming out, and in the back of my mind I was just like, I can't do this, I want to quit. But you can't quit when you're going through that, because that baby's gonna come out no matter what. No matter what. In the back of my mind I was like, oh my god, where's this epidural? Because I kept thinking about my first pregnancy where I had the epidural and I did not feel any contractions. All I felt was the pressure of the baby coming out. But with this, with no medications, I'm telling you guys, you felt the contractions, you felt the baby coming down, you felt the pressure. Like it was so much going on in that little bit of, what she said, 7 minutes of me pushing, that it was just, it was crazy. But it was still a great ass experience to experience. I'm telling you, like, just, you felt so empowered because you are giving birth. Like you are creating another human being. Like this other human being is coming out of you. Like your vagina dilates and your cervix thins to allow this baby to come out of you. And it's just, it's amazing. Like it really was amazing. Like the midwife, she had to do some midwife stuff to get my cervix out the way so the baby can come out and make more room for the baby, you know. And then the nurse was there the whole time, you know, holding my hand while I was there, gripping on my boyfriend's shirt and biting him and pulling his hair, gripping on the frame. You guys, it was intense. But I would do it all over again. If I decide to have another baby, I would do it all over again. Like I would not go to the hospital, because like I told you guys, it's such a great experience. Like it's nothing like the hospital. It's definitely not like that at the birthing center. It's definitely whatever you want to do. Like if you want to you know, do a water birth, you can do a water birth. If you want to give birth on a bed, if you want to give birth squatting, or if you want to give birth on a birthing stool, it's literally what you want to do. And you guys, the whole time I was there, my sister was on FaceTime and my mom was on FaceTime through WhatsApp, because she's still, you know, stuck overseas. So they were both able to experience my birthing experience through the phone. So the whole time, like it was crazy, because my doula was holding the phone while I was going through my contractions and giving birth. So like I said, it was a great experience. And if you guys are considering on going all natural, or doing a home birth, or doing a birthing center, I highly recommend it, because you will not regret it. But you guys, that is pretty much it. That is my birthing experience. I really loved it. It was a great experience. I had very supportive people. My partner was very supportive. You know, my doula was very supportive. They were working together to help me go through these contractions. You know, if one got tired, then the other one would jump in and help. And it was overall just great. The midwives were amazing. The nurses were amazing. That is pretty much it, you guys. If you guys have any questions, please write them down below in the comment section. Just ask any questions and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. The Women's Birth Center was definitely a 5 stars experience for me. I enjoyed it, and I highly recommend that you guys do your research if you guys are planning on doing a home birth or doing a birthing center for your labor and delivery. But that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button down below, or my little face icon will pop up right there. And most importantly, don't forget to turn on your notification bell, which is right there beside the subscribe button. Don't forget to press it. That way you guys will be notified of every time I upload videos on my channel. I will see you guys next time. Bye, loves. Mwah.